What's up, guys?
Hey guys, it is Scotch for Dummies.
Four guys in the Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase. Well, if you're lucky, it might be this one.
Not yet. I don't.
It's the last.
But is it on American shelves?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're lucky, you can get it. But
You gotta want it really bad.
Right. Where did we
Really
get this
bad.
one?
We get this over in the Netherlands.
This one came from over the pond, a little early.
Actually,
It's a Macallan Edition No. 6.
That's right. And this is a gift, by the way. I haven't told you guys yet. From our good friend Tom R.
What?
That's awesome.
Right, so thank you, Tom, for this.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
I'm going to start pouring while you guys talk.
Let's talk about it. So Edition 6, it is also the last of the Edition series.
Yep. So should we run through the first five real
At
quick?
least give a 5 quick
All right.
rundown.
So Edition 1, if you're lucky enough to have one and you didn't drink it already, that was paying homage to the casking of Macallan. Their cask selection and the rotation process.
We didn't get one.
We didn't get one of those. But I wish I had because they're going for some money right now. But we did get edition number 2. And that one was in collaboration with the Roca brothers. So they got to pick some casks and Macallan put them together. And it was, dare I say, delicious? I believe delicious is the word I would use.
It was good.
It was.
Edition 3 was done by a perfumer, so that celebrated the heady aroma and nose of Macallan. Edition 4 was the green bottle, and that one...
What did it pay homage?
that was for the new distillery.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's right.
that was in honor of the new distillery and all the cool stuff that they had going on. Edition 5 is
purple.
the purple bottle that's back behind Drew back there, and that was paying homage to the color purple.
Whatever.
That one,
Prince
The color
thing,
of
or-
whiskey, which is influenced by so many things.
it was it's a unique color of purple that was just made for that bottle.
Yes.
Pretty
I don't
cool.
know what that has to do with whiskey, but there you go. And this pretty blue bottle, what's going on with the Edition 6?
Well, this one's to pay homage to the River Spey, right? The river runs right through the Macallan estate. I think they actually have a little over, close to 2 miles of the river runs through the estate. And so this
That
is
seems
really,
horrible.
I know, it's paying homage to that. I mean, they're doing some good things with conservation that you had mentioned before we started showing, which is kind of cool. We'll talk a little bit about that. But they have 5 different cask types that are a mixture of American and European oak. Most of them are, what makes the cask special is they come from their cooperages in Spain. What is it? I can't even remember how to pronounce it. Tavasa and the Vasima? V-A-S-Y-M-A.
Good enough.
Anyway, but those are 2 cooperages in Spain, and I think Macallan uses them exclusively. I know that the Tavasa one, they make for all Edrington Group. So
Yep.
all the casks are sherry seasoned. I'm pretty sure Tavasa does 2 years of seasoning in their casks, so we know that much.
Oh, wow.
But it's the whole bottling is like you said, to the River Spey, which
Which is kind of the lifeline of...
Oh, yeah, it's the water. So.
the
Yeah.
entire
Yeah,
region.
yeah, exactly.
To me, this one makes a little bit more sense than maybe Edition 5. I like the blue. And
Sure.
I really do like that they're pushing the conservation, the Atlantic salmon. They talk about that quite a bit.
Right.
And their gilly that helps in the conservation of all the riverfront that they have on their property.
48.6%.
Where's the 0.6 come from?
It's the 6th
edition
edition.
number 6. And I
Great.
think, by the way, this is not a cheap bottle. I think it's going for $160 in the market.
Oh, wow.
So
That makes me sad
Man,
because
I'm
I have a
getting-
bottle lost in the USPS right now.
I'm getting prunes on the nose.
it's got that Macallan.
Macallan what?
I'm not getting
Say
Macallan
it.
sulfur on this.
I'm not going to say sulfur,
Because it's there.
I'll tell you what,
but it's got its flavor.
I get brown sugar and cinnamon.
Yeah.
Brown sugar. I haven't got cinnamon yet. But
Underneath the sulfur, underneath the
see,
rubber
I
tire.
I get the dried fruits, raisins, plums,
Yeah.
or prunes, whatever.
I get rubber.
cranberries.
Cinnamon. So you get brown sugar and cinnamon?
Yep. I get a spicy note on the nose.
There's a hint of orange in there too.
Not Goodyear though. It's not Goodyear. It's probably Firestone.
Holy cow, it's like drinking a Red Hot.
Really?
I thought so. It's got some
I want-
spice.
I want some of that sulfur note to go off so I can get to what you guys are getting.
It's
to.
got some nice oaky notes to it.
I'm getting the sulfur on the palate.
Oh, it's oaky. It's oaky when you just have it in your mouth and it turns into a. Ooh, what is that?
It's like a new
There is a
cedar
spice
or
note, that's
something
for sure.
on the palate.
Is it me or is it not as full-bodied as the nose led you to believe? Like I was expecting like a
think it
big
needs a-
mouth
It is kinda
coating,
I think I need another
Scotch?
sip or two.
and it's not quite as much as I thought it would be.
It's actually it's pretty oaky in the finish though.
Yeah.
Well, think about the casks. I would expect it. I mean, that's what they're highlighting.
It's not like super sweet. Semi-sweet. I need to get some more in here because I'm thinking some more fruit will come out of it in a second.
I'm starting to get some of those sherry notes now. Now that the sulfur's finally wafting off for me.
This is
Now I'm
something
getting your
hiding.
brown sugar.
Oh, where are you at?
That
It's a
sherry's
rich
coming
flavor.
through. I honestly think the European oak is
It's-
more influential than the American oak. I think it's spicy. It's real long.
It's very spicy, lasts a long time. It's like ginger and white pepper.
I'm getting pepper on it.
There's a little clove on the finish, but there's a lot of spice.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that. I'm not getting a lot of cinnamon, but more of, I don't know.
It's
I
like
get
a waterfall though. The flavor first hits you kind of full, and it just goes down really quick, and then you're left with an oaky finish.
See, I'm not getting the oak. I'm not getting a lot of oak in it.
I can't get past the spicy note.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I'm
spicy.
struggling with too. I'm going to get a little water on this and see what it does.
It's like a flat finish. It's just
So, is this one that's going to take a while to open up? I mean, you come back to
I mean,
this
it's
in a month.
48%.
Hit it hard.
I don't.
I mean, it's
It's a non-age.
Go on,
so
to
I
me,
can't-
it's
Thank
it's
you.
not the alcohol that's overwhelming. It's the spice that's hitting
Right.
me hard,
Right.
and it's hot.
I'm not getting gingerbread. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we didn't mention
So
it's,
now
it
that
does say
brings-
natural
bringing up
color,
the spice.
which is good to know because it is a
Caramels.
beautiful,
well, I would think
beautiful
with
color.
all those.
It
bits
is
in
pretty.
there.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
It doesn't say non-chill filtered, but at 48.6, I think we can assume that maybe it's on there somewhere and we just haven't seen it.
Water definitely enhances the
The-
nose.
It
More
gets
fruit, more
it lets me
chocolate.
get to a little bit of the sweet, but it's still
See, I'm getting a lot of the baking spices now that I wasn't getting
Ooh.
before. I had the dried fruits before.
I'm gonna hit it hard.
Boy, that water is helping, that's for sure.
It's peppery.
I'm getting
starting to get some vanilla notes on the end of it.
I'm getting some vanilla and some orange.
I got that sherry and vanilla, which is a great combination.
It did not help the flavor for me, the palate for me.
Really?
It did for me. I got a warmer toffee caramel going on now that we did
weird.
not have before.
That is so weird because I'm getting black tea now.
But it's right up front. It's right up front of my palate, and then it rolls back to that wood influence is really strong.
I get some of that astringent quality.
Yeah, that's
I-
so
I
weird.
think that's the wood combination too, because I know where you're going with
the
that.
tannins. Mm-hmm. That is interesting.
It's not as full bodied though as what I was wanting to see, and the nose kind of give it a little bit more of a hints of fruit and stuff, and I'm not really getting that.
The nose is. I think the nose on this whiskey is really nice. It's got the sweetness. It's got some spiciness in it. It's a really pleasant. Now, the palate doesn't as much do it for me.
It smells good.
All right,
Who wants to go?
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
So, I think neat. It was closed. It was hard to get to. I think it's got the signature Macallan sulfur note up front for me, which I fully expected. But it didn't last long. It did waft off, and I was able to get some of those other notes that you guys were talking about. I think the beauty on it, well, let's talk about the palate neat. I think it was a little too spicy. It was really closed off. There wasn't much to get because I couldn't get over that spice note, which I'm assuming is coming from that European oak. But water, and he's pretty heavy on the water, I think helped everything. It made the nose a little bit more pleasant. I started getting some vanilla from that American oak. And I was getting a vanilla and sherry mixture, and I was like, oh, this is getting exciting. I'm getting, all right, come on, talk to me. The palate was a lot softer. The spice was tamed down enough for me to get some of that vanilla and a little bit of sherry flavor. So I think that the palate followed through. I'll be honest with you, if I had to judge it neat, I was probably maybe south of 2. I was probably somewhere between 1.5 and 2. After I put some water on it, what happened with it with that water, and I'm also going to give it a little bit of a benefit of doubt and say, you know what, in a couple weeks, I bet you the air in that bottle is going to help this thing out. I think she gets better as we go down. I'm going to give it a 2.5 because I really think that the water helped this thing out and really made it what I wanted out of it. I'm hoping that in a couple of weeks she tames down and she's that way neat. But I'll give it a 2.5. I think it was a pretty valiant effort for their last edition. I like this one better than the previous one, and probably even better than number 4. It's hard for me. Number 2 is my favorite, but I've never had number 1. So I'm going to give it a 2.5 and say that so long to the Edition series.
There you go.
So I didn't like this as much watered down.
Interesting.
I think the richness, the sweetness, I don't know if there's not a lot of creaminess in it, but I thought it tasted better neat. I added some water and it turned out bitter, and I lost all the sweetness, which is unfortunate. So that's why you saw me top it up a little bit with a little more whiskey to try and bring that back up, and I enjoy that. As far as flavors go, I think we agreed. You heard what I talked through on the earlier part of the episode. This is one of those ones where it's a sherry. It's not a sherry bomb by any means, but it's definitely sherry influenced. It's flavorful. I think it's overpriced, but Macallan does that. So for Macallan, it's the end of the series. If you want the whole collection, you got to have it. So that's probably why the price is a little north of $150, $160 US. I wouldn't pay that for that if it was just a standard bottle on the shelf. So I will tell you that much. I'll give this I'm going to give this a 2 because it's an okay whiskey. It doesn't have a lot of anything that is really impressive and that stands out to me. So the taste is good. I think it's overpriced. I'll give it a 2.
It is overpriced for $160. You said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that price is heavy. But I mean,
it's a finish. It's
I hate
a
to say it,
finale of the
one
series.
of it's distillery and the other is tariffs. So I mean, there's that too.
Oh, that's true.
Well, Tariff Distillery, and it's a limited edition series.
All the above.
So there's $60 right there.
Ones go for? Do you remember?
They were like $100, I think.
They were close to 100.
Yeah, I
They went
paid
up
100
quickly.
for the Edition 2.
Yeah.
Right. Both bottles.
Yeah, this is definitely the most expensive of the edition series. I'm along the lines with Mark on this one. It definitely got better with water for sure. Now that just means you all are going to get on us for not letting it sit and open up. I agree. It probably means it can open up, let the ABV do its course, run off, etc. We rushed it, as we always do. It's a part of our series. But the water definitely penetrated and helped bring out what I wanted to get out of this, which is what they're known for, is a sherryness. I didn't get a lot. It was not a sherry bomb, to your point, at all. But I definitely appreciated the nose, the elegance of the nose, but it didn't really do a whole lot for me. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to dig into this. It was more of a, that's a nice aroma. It's Macallan. I can appreciate this. There's some stuff going on, but the ABV kind of really masked that a little bit. When I got water on the nose, I got a little bit more into it. I got a little bit more caramel. But what really helped was the palate. And to me, it opened up the sherryness. I got the caramel, the toffees I was looking for. And it really rolled nicely and balanced more with the wood influence that I was getting on the neat versus with water on it. So I appreciate it.
Very different.
It's not like blowing me away, and the price is
blowing you away.
that's blowing me away.
Right.
But I appreciate it. I think it's good. I'm going to go with even 2 based on the balance of the price and what I'm getting out of the glass itself. If the price was down, I would go higher for sure.
Round it out, man.
All right.
Bring it home.
My favorite part of this whiskey is the color of the box.
Wow. That's not good.
So I really actually enjoyed the nose. I enjoyed it neat. I enjoyed it with water. It had a lot of different things going on in it. Made me excited to get into that glass. And then I took a sip, and it was all just that European spice notes from the barrel. And I really couldn't ever access all of the other things that I was smelling. And I wish I could tell you that I think this is going to open up in a week or 2 as it sits in the bottle, but I don't think it's going to. To me, those kinds of whiskeys, I can tell when I take a sip that there's a rich mouthfeel, there's a lot of stuff going on, and this to me feels very thin and very
Interesting.
unmouth coating. And so I don't think that I'm going to get much more out of it from it sitting and getting a little oxidation going on. There were hints of things going on in there, but I just could never get to them underneath all of that spice. And I don't know if that's just me tonight, but if I paid $160 for this bottle and then took a sip of it, like I even poured a little bit more because I wanted to go back and make sure that I was not just beating this thing to death for no apparent reason. and I really wanted to like it. I really did. I enjoyed the nose, and I thought that there was going to be something there, and there just wasn't. And that was even more disappointing than finding a nose and being like, oh, well, this is kind of flat. And then you taste it, and it's kind of flat, and you're like, man, whatever. So for $160, I can buy Red Hots a lot cheaper than that. So I'm going to give it a 1.5. I am super not impressed with this whiskey, and if I paid $160 for it, I would be not very happy about it. It is the last of the Macallan series, though, so if you're collecting and you want to round out the series, you kind of have to have it. I personally, if this was sitting on the shelf, I don't know that I would reach for this bottle. That's just me.
I'll tell you what, it's all sweet sugar, vanilla, cotton candy.
On the nose.
Right now, it's just getting sweeter and sweeter.
I mean, I smell brown sugar and vanilla, and it smells amazing, and I take a sip, and I just
I
can't
would
get
agree.
any
The
of it.
nose is so much nicer.
We'll see what happens. We'll
Yeah,
forward
there
out.
you go.
Let's
Sit here for a little
see.
while.
We'll find out on a Thursday night, I guess.
Let's go around.
2.5.
2.
1.5.
So we're at a 2.
Even 2.
I got the math on that.
Well,
No,
there you
we're-
go. So
We're above a 2, a little above a 2. 2.125.
No, because
2.2.
2.5, 2, 1.5.
You and I are-
It's right at 2.
Giddy up.
There we go. Whatever.
It's tough math.
So hopefully you can find a bottle of this.
Well,
Maybe.
it's supposedly coming to the States. I'm sure it'll be here sooner or later. We'll see what the price point
The
is.
Netherlands has
then.
some, apparently.
Obviously, they got some over on the other side of the pond, so
There you go.
keep your eyes open, guys.
We'll see you on Thursday.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Then you literally put the number 6 up there, 'cause,
Right.
you know, he holds the cardboard.
There's so many editions in the Macallan series. I can only have one. I can only have one.
I claim the amendment. I claim the amendment. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.